What's up, ADV riders? Check out this Ninja 250. I borrowed it from one of my brother's coworkers for a few days to go on a ride to Pinnacles National Park from San Francisco. What you're seeing is more towards the beginning of the ride on California's Highway 1, which has some pretty beautiful coastline. We rode to Half Moon and took 92 east to get to 35 Skyline. Anyway, this bike ended up being really fun to drive. I really didn't know what to expect when driving this, and it really turned out to be easy to drive. Because it's such a light bike, it's actually a pretty snappy bike. It's got the telltale signs of everyone's first bike: zip ties holding on body panels, scratches all over the body, and somehow there's a dent in the gas tank. The tires were in okay condition, and the tachometer kept sticking. With the exception of the tires, none of these things affected how it drove. The brakes worked great, it certainly ran well for the carly oil that was in it, and it revved like a Japanese engine should rev. In fact, I usually wasn't giving it enough revs and was trying to drive it like my F650GS. It's just what I was used to, but I figured that out later on. This bike redlines at 14,000 RPMs, so cruising speed usually should be about 7,000 RPMs. That got a little annoying for a 400-mile round trip, but it still functioned well enough for me to enjoy everything I was doing. Being a street bike, I was fully expecting to be leaning far forward, and I was actually surprised at how upright you sit on this bike. It made me realize the fairing was pretty much there for show when riding this bike on the road. As far as the saddle goes, you can tell it's made to be rode for no more than 2 hours at a time. That's to be expected from what is essentially a track bike. With all that said, this is still a really fun bike to ride, and I could totally see myself owning a small bike like this in the distant future. This is where the roads started to get slightly more twisty. If you didn't figure it out already, that's my brother on his 1150GS, which rides like the Bismarck compared to this nimble little Kawasaki. He handled his bike impressively through this favorite road, Route 84, which is in the next video of this series. I had to get a shot of that helicopter because, if you know me, I'm really into helicopters. Later on, you'll see a picture of me sitting on the Ninja in front of Alice's restaurant. I got the hog burger even though I was riding the polar opposite of a hog, which I highly suggest. I suggest you visit the restaurant if you get the chance. It's historically a biker hangout, and the food is aptly named after different motorcycle manufacturers. Anyway, at this point I'll let you enjoy the ride without my narration. Thanks for joining us on this ride.